Let's get into why emotional intelligence is a key attribute and factor you need for your next and potentially last relationship. But before we get into that, give me the three freebies: like, share, and subscribe. This is the Firm and Fair podcast, and we have work to do. Let's get to it. Like I was saying from earlier, emotional intelligence. Let's get into what that is, and then I'll give you my personal breakdown around why I believe that this is one of the three pillars, right? Emotional responsibility. But without intelligence, how responsible can you be? So, what is emotional intelligence? It's the ability to perceive, evaluate, express, and control emotions. So, some researchers suggest that emotional intelligence can be learned and strengthened, while others claim it's an inborn characteristic. Let me be the first to let you know you can definitively learn and strengthen your own emotional intelligence to further your emotional responsibility. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. So start practicing, right? The ability to express and control emotions is essential, but so is the ability to understand, interpret, and respond to the emotions of others. That's always the point that I'm referring to when it comes to the three pillars of being firm and fair: emotional responsibility, self awareness, and gratitude. Now, imagine a world in which you cannot understand when a friend was feeling sad or when a coworker was angry. Psychologists refer to this as emotional intelligence, and some experts even suggest that it can be more important than IQ in your overall success in life. That is true. No matter how smart you are, we're animals. Animals, even with their intelligence, they express emotions, and you need to be able to feel those out to navigate life. So, what are some signs of emotional intelligence? Some key signs and example of emotional intelligence include an ability to identify and describe what people are feeling, an awareness of personal strengths and limitations, self-confidence and self-acceptance, the ability to let go of mistakes, an ability to accept and embrace change, a strong sense of curiosity, particularly about other people, feelings of empathy and concern for others, showing sensitivity to the feelings of other people, accepting responsibility for mistakes. That is truly important. You can also focus on your ability to manage your emotions in difficult situations, i.e., the throes of life, i.e., the throes of romantic relationships, because there's always going to be arguments, right? There's always going to be issues. But how you and your partner are able to work together to attack the issue together and not attack one another will be a key factor in determining the strength and love in the relationship. So, how is it measured? There's a number of different assessments that have emerged to measure levels of emotional intelligence. Such tests generally fall into one or two types: self-report tests and ability tests. Self-report tests are most common because they are the easiest to administer and score. On such tests, respondents respond to questions or statements by rating their own behaviors. For example, on a statement such as, "I often feel that I understand how all others are feeling," a test taker might describe the statement as disagree, somewhat disagree, agree, or strongly agree. Ability tests, on the other hand, involve having people respond to situations and then assessing their skills. Such tests often require people to demonstrate their abilities, which are then rated by a third party. If you are taking an emotional test administered by a mental health professional, here are two measures that might be used. The Mayer-Salovey-Caruso Emotional Intelligence Test is an ability-based test that measures the four branches of Mayer and Salovey's EI model. Test takers perform tasks designed to assess their ability to perceive, identify, understand, and manage emotions. Emotional and social competence inventory is based on an older instrument known as the self-assessment questionnaire and involves having people the individual offer ratings of the person's ability to in several different emotional competencies. This test is designed to evaluate the social and emotional abilities to help distinguish people as strong leaders. There are more informal online resources, many of them are free, which I'll leave a link in the low bar so that you can actually test your emotional intelligence. So here are some components. After the components, I'll leave you to get into this by yourself because, like I said before, we have work to do, but I don't want to hold your hand. Emotional intelligence and emotional responsibility are truly important. You cannot not follow through in life, especially in relationships. And we're not even talking about romance. We're just talking about in the general sense. So here are some components of emotional intelligence. Perceiving emotions. The first step is just understanding the emotion to perceive them accurately. So you need to be able to read body language and facial expressions. Words have power, but body language speaks for itself too. You can also reason with emotions. So the next step involves using emotions to promote thinking and cognitive activity. Emotions help prioritize what we pay attention and react to. We respond emotionally to things that garner our attention. Understanding emotions. The emotions that we perceive can carry a wide variety of meanings. If someone is expressing angry emotions, the observer must interpret the cause of the person's anger and what it could mean. For example, if your boss is acting angry, it might mean they are dissatisfied with your work, or it could be they got a speeding ticket on their way to work that morning, or they've been fighting with their partner. So, look, I'll break that down just a little bit. Never take someone's emotions or how they treat you for face value. I don't think it's necessarily how they feel about you. There might be some underlying reason. So sometimes we have to give grace and patience to others and let them know that you understand it's a hard day, but please don't put that energy on me. That's what it means to be emotionally responsible. You can also manage emotions. So the ability to manage emotions effectively is a crucial part of emotional intelligence and the highest level. Regulating emotions and responding appropriately, as well as responding to the emotions of others, are all aspects of emotional management. So those are the four branches of the model, and they're arranged by complexity with more basic processes at the lower levels and more advanced processes at the higher levels. Let's get the last word in. Here's my last word, and I'll let you go in and enjoy your day. With great power comes great responsibility, right? But you have to wield it correctly. Our emotions are very powerful, especially in the beginning of a relationship, especially when there's novelty, things are exciting. Sooner or later, it wears out. Sooner or later, you and your partner will argue. You will throw your emotions at each other. It's bound to happen. But if you have a discussion beforehand of how you would like to address issues when they arise, I think it will lead to greater successes. Being emotionally responsible means this: you do not, whether you're right, whether you're wrong, you do not emotionally overload your partner. You do not emotionally overcharge them, especially if you feel righteous. If you feel righteous, it's that much easier to be angry at them, to talk down on them with disdain. Sooner or later, your partner will come to resent you, and it will show. The relationship will fracture, it will weaken, and then you end up losing each other. And then you have to start all over again with someone else. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of seeing multiple people. I want my one and my forever. In order to understand that, there's going to be fights. How you handle it, how you solve it. You stand together on the problem, not against each other. That's my last word. You be sure to have a great day.